Good Wednesday morning, Facebook, YouTube. How you doing? I am Kendrick, the sports guy with Kendrick Sports Hustle. That's SportzHustle. Hope you are having a good Hump Day Wednesday. And we got some sad news, some breaking news coming from the NBA. A loss of one of the greats. But before we get to that, make sure you come in. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Also to the channel if you haven't already done so. That's Kendrick Sports Hustle here on YouTube. Make sure you also follow it on Facebook as well. Make sure you comment. Let me know what you're watching, where you're watching from. And we're going to talk about the loss of one of the giants of the NBA. Sad day, man. It's a sad day today. This came across my phone when I looked at it. I thought I had to do a double take. It's it's crazy. But if you haven't heard the breaking news, Lakers legend and Hall of Famer Jerry West has died at the age of 86. The Los Angeles Clippers, who he was consulting for, right now, at this time he was their consultant. They were the first to do the release and reach the information that the Hall of Famer Jerry West has died at the age of 86. He died peacefully in his sleep at home, according to the report, and his wife Karen was by his side as well. So breaking news from the NBA, from Lakers land, Clippers land. He's a LA legend. Jerry West, 86-year-old Hall of Famer, who not only had a storied career on the court, but I think his career was probably just as storied as an exec. And I think a lot of people probably remember Jerry West more so at him as an executive, as an architect, as building teams, more specifically building the Lakers to the Lakers Showtime in the 80s, and then pulling off some drafts and some trades that made him a legend when you talk about execs. You won Executive of the Year a couple of years. He's done consulting work for a few teams the last probably 10 to 15 years, with the Grizzlies, with the Golden State Warriors, with the Clippers, obviously with the Lakers. I think he did a little bit with the Sacramento Kings as well. But the NBA has lost a true legend, a true giant of the game, who is the logo. That is the signature, the trademark of the NBA is that logo, that silhouette of Jerry West. And there was a story about 2 years ago. I did something about the logo. You know, when somebody was brought up, if it was time to change the logo, and if it should be changed, who should it be? They asked the legend Jerry West. He said, if it had to be anybody beside me, he said, I think it should be Michael Jordan. But right now, I think all that stops. I don't see that logo ever being changed, and it shouldn't be in my mind. What about the legendary Jerry West? Well, he was from West Virginia. He's a West Virginia legend. Went to the University of West Virginia. He won a gold medal in the 1960 Olympics. He was a co-captain of that team. I believe Oscar Robertson was on that team as well. As then he would bring his talents to the NBA. He won 9 championships as a player, as a scout, as a coach, as an executive, and a consultant. He won count 9 of them. As a player, again, he played 14 years, all for the Lakers in the league. He was an all-star all of those 14 years. He was a 12-time All-NBA selection. But this is the thing that a lot of people try to say this is an asterisk, but I don't think so. He went to 9 finals as a player, but he only won one of them. So he only won that one championship. He lost 6 times to the legendary Hall of Famer and the late Bill Russell and those Celtics teams. So he did go to 9 finals and he only won one. So that's kind of the only blemish if you want to call it a blemish on his record. He played with Wilt Chamberlain on that team as well when they got that that finals victory. And he is the only NBA player, only player in NBA history to ever be named NBA Finals MVP for a losing team. That's never happened. There's the only time it happened. It was with Jerry West. He was also the third player in NBA history to reach 25,000 points. Again, he was an all-star every year of his career. He won that one title back in 71, 72, which I think that team also was a history-making team because I think they, at the time, they had the most wins in a season. I think they ended up, I think it was, 69, I want to say. I could be wrong about that, but I do remember that as well. He was part of the 75th anniversary team, Jerry West. And he was a personification of the NBA, of basketball. But after his playing career, again, he found success in as an exec. He was the one behind bringing Larry, not Larry, I was going to say Larry, Magic Johnson, Irving Magic Johnson. He was part of getting him to the Showtime Lakers and James Worthy and getting all those guys, Byron Scott, Michael Cooper. He had a hand in drafting and evaluating the talent to get those guys to the Showtime Lakers. And we know the 80s, that was, when you talk about 80s basketball, that decade, it was owned by the Lakers and Celtics, that big time rivalry. Jerry West was an exec. He had a hand in that. Outside, the Pistons would come along later in the 80s. But when you talk about the NBA in the 80s, he was all about the Lakers, Showtime, and the Boston Celtics, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. And Jerry West was a part of that. And he would later go on and make some other moves that would bring the Lakers some more championships. He will make a draft day move that kind of changed the trajectory of the Lakers. He traded away Vlade Divac to Charlotte to draft this 18-year-old kid out of Philadelphia by the name of Kobe Bean Bryant. Jerry West would say that Kobe, when he first saw him play, he said, "I knew this kid had it." Jerry West was a great evaluator of talent. You can't, bar none, he was a great evaluator of talent. So he was the mastermind behind the Kobe Bryant deal, as well as the Big Diesel, Shaq. He was able to lure him away from Orlando, gave him a big-time contract, one of the biggest at the time, at that time. Brought him to L.A. And he and Kobe would team up, as well as Phil Jackson, who he was able to bring him in. He was able to team up with those guys, and they were able to win 3 championships together. That's Kobe and Shaq. And then Jerry would move on and do some consulting for the Memphis Grizzlies. He kind of got that franchise, the trajectory of it took off when he became an executive with them. He would do some consulting work for the Golden State Warriors around the time when they was winning those 4 championships. Then he would end up now where he was with the Clippers. He was behind getting Kawhi Leonard and Paul George to come to the Clippers. So NBA has lost a giant of a man. Especially, he was an ambassador of the NBA. When you talk about the Lakers, especially the Lakers. You talk about the Lakers. Jerry West's name is right up there. It's up there. He has a statue just as well, as all those other great Lakers. This is just a sad day. We just still dealing with the loss of Bill Walton, who passed away on Memorial Day. Then Chet Walker, I forgot. We had another legendary player, Chet Walker, who played for the Philadelphia 76ers as well as the Chicago Bulls, who was a teammate of Wilt Chamberlain in Philly and won a title. Chet Walker passed away this past weekend. I think he was 84. So you got Bill Walton, Hall of Famer Chet Walker, and now Hall of Famer Jerry West. Man. So I'm sure the Mavericks and the Celtics, they got Game 3 going on tonight in Dallas. Don't know what. I'm sure there will probably there better be. I'm sure there will be a moment of silence in acknowledging Jerry West. Again, he's from West Virginia. He was a two-time All-America at West Virginia, where he averaged 24.8 points per game. He helped that Mountaineer team to win a 50 NCAA championship to the game in 1959, but they lost to Cal. Again, he would team up with Oscar Robertson in '60, and they would lead that U.S. team to a gold medal in Rome. He was nicknamed Mr. Clutch. If you don't know why, he hit that 60-foot short, the shot. He hit that 60-foot shot, which was just one of many clutch shots he hit. It's just a sad day. West is he's 25th on the NBA scoring list. I don't know what to say. Again, a lot of the players would go to Jerry West to pick his brain, to talk about different things, to get his advice, his insight on not only the game of the NBA, but life too. Speaking of life, he had a pretty tumultuous childhood in West Virginia. His dad was a coal miner. He lost, I think, his older brother in the Korean War, and that was something that haunted him. He never got over, according to reports. And he also dealt with depression later on. Did not know that. He would write a book, I think in 2011. His memoir will come out, and he talked about his dealing with depression, how he had been dealing with that for some time, and how he had to fight depression and how he was able to overcome that. So again, Jerry West, the logo. I don't think there's no even debate or argument now about who should be the logo. Should it change? Nah, I gotta stay Jerry West. I think it's only fitting for one of the NBA royalty. He's NBA royalty. He's basketball royalty when you think about it. I mean, just his years in the game, from his time at West Virginia and the Olympics, and then playing for the Lakers, and then being an exec for all these teams, and his years. He's always been an ambassador for the league. So again, breaking news if you hadn't heard, Lakers legend Jerry West died today at the age of 86, peacefully at his home in California with his wife Karen by his side. The Clippers would release that statement. Again, just to go over his resume, though, as far as the cause of death, let me say this, nothing has been released. We don't know if Mr. West was sick or not, but his cause of death has not been reported. So once we find out, or once we get that information, we would definitely do an update on that. Probably we'd be doing some more stuff on Jerry West probably later on this weekend. And it just so happens to be Father's Day weekend. Now, he had his wife, Karen. He had 5 children as well. One of his sons, Jerry, is a scout for the Detroit Pistons. So he's survived by his wife, Karen, and five children. Again, 1 gold medal in 1960 Olympics. He won 9 championships as a player, scout, coach, executive, and consultant. He played all 14 years in the NBA with the Lakers. He was an all-star all of those years. He was a 12-time all-NBA selection. He went to the finals 9 times, winning only 1, and he would lose 6 times to the late, great Hall of Famer Bill Russell and those Boston Celtics. So this Lakers Celtics has always had this rivalry, even if you go back to the 60s. Then it would pick back up in the 80s. And then we'll have a little bit of rivalry in the mid 2000s with Shaq, with Kobe and Paul Gasol and the Celtics. So the NBA has lost, definitely. This is a big loss. Lost a legend. LA has lost a legend. And all we can say is, again, our condolences definitely go out to Mr. West's wife, Karen, and his 5 kids, and to all those NBA players that had a personal relationship with him, with the Lakers organization. With all that, this is going to be a tough next couple of weeks. So we're going to see what the NBA is going to do for us. Is the finals going to do anything? We got the draft coming up in 2 weeks, and I'm sure this upcoming NBA season, I'm sure they're going to be doing something special in memory of Lakers legend Jerry West. So again, this has been your breaking news sports report from Kendrick Sports Hustle. I am Kendrick. You guys, make sure you, if you watch this later, make sure you comment, like, share this live stream to your social media platforms, and we'll give you any more updates on the death of the logo of the Lakers legend, Hall of Famer Jerry West. If any other updates come out, I definitely will jump in and we'll relay that to you. So I am out. We will see you on the other side. You guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and we'll talk to you on the next report. Peace.